Think of a child you love very much, who grows and develops almost as you watch. Think of how that child is learning. Children learn because it is in the nature of all human beings to learn. Yet when teaching adults, we design methods that for 20% of Canadians simply don't work. There is another way, a way based on the assumption that all people can learn when offered an environment that recreates that initial excitement of new experience. A learning environment made possible by skill.
We sat around and we thought, what is it that we're doing that seems to be working for the last 100 years? And like everything else that tends to be profound, it was incredibly simple. We were going to where people lived and worked. We were asking them the very simple question, but the question hardly anybody asks people is, what do you want to learn? And then we were meeting people's needs in their comfortable settings, whether it be at the workplace or in a library or out in the field.
Well, SCIL works really well with people because it's designed around them. This is not a quick fix, and it's not something that you have to fit into the design of. You are the design. You are the focal point of the SCIL program. So it's, what are your needs? What do you need? What do you want? And how do we work around that?
I felt like I'm not the only person that has that problem. Yeah. It is a big problem for a lot of people in Toronto who can't read and write, and that's sad. It's very sad. It's embarrassing too. Very embarrassing.
Most adult learners simply need a second chance, or even a good first chance. Tutors who can convince learners they have what it takes offer them the invaluable opportunity to realize their goals. But it is by no means a one-way street. Adult learners offer their tutors a wealth of experience from which both benefit. This is the essence of SCIL, an equal partnership in learning based on common sense.
I've never, in my experience, heard a person say, I am illiterate, ever. I've heard people say, I don't read well, I don't write well. I've heard people say, I want to become a carpenter, I want to read to my children, I want to read the Bible. A student who wants to learn to read has a goal in mind. Reading and writing is a way to get there.
The dog across the street is a Cocker Spaniel.
It's a totally self-motivating system because Petra wants to do whatever it is that we want to do, so
Yeah.
we can just take off with it.
Yeah.
And so that's like, 90% of the battle is so it's just a question of me trying to figure out just the really simple tools of how to get wherever it is that Petra wants to go. So in terms of that, Petra's the brains of it.
Yeah.
And, I'm just the doer.
I'm always scared when I meet a new student. And the first thing I do is tell the student. So number one is be real, be yourself. Don't play a teacher, be a person. Get to know your student. Develop a relationship. And then, for heaven's sakes, give the person what they want.
I guess to be a good tutor, the first thing is patience and flexibility. Patience mostly with yourself because,
And understanding.
Yeah, there's a big tendency to put down your own agenda rather than understanding what the student needs, because you get all these wonderful harebrained schemes about what you'd like your student to be doing, and then you realize that hold on, this is, you've got to have a little bit of patience to have your agenda set aside for theirs.
The SCIL methodology accepts a broad definition of literacy, meaning that to be literate, people must have the ability to participate fully in society. Whether it be reading a newspaper to find an apartment, or a job, or opening a bank account, SCIL responds to the day-to-day needs of the student.
And it's astounding what happens when you take someone who has so little self-confidence and a mutilated self-image and say, you can really do something, and here's how, and we'll help you do that. And you get very, very dramatic shifts in people's self-image and who they think they are. And when that happens, people really begin to learn that they can learn. And if they believe it, they can.
And I'm saying to you that this prison was bad. This was a hellhole of a place to be in. The prison I was inside, this had, right, was that I couldn't read, I couldn't write, and I couldn't be a normal person. And that's what my feelings were. So I was getting good at being bad. Inmates can help inmates, and that's why with Frontier College and what they're doing today is fantastic in the 10 prisons that they're in. It's working. It's great. When my tutor taught me my wife's name, Carol, I had 2 other words, I, love, and she gave me Carol. What happened when I could communicate that was I felt like a kid at Christmas morning.
SCIL is an approach to adult literacy tutoring with a proven track record. Quite simply, it works. And it works in a variety of situations and environments.
It's sort of too easy just to melt into the walls of this hospital and let everything be done for you. And it's helping him just gain more control. I think it's necessary for his self-esteem, gain more contact with the outside world, and better his chances for employment.
SCIL focuses on literacy, but of equal concern is what lies beyond it. For people involved in learning and tutoring, literacy is a window to the community.
I'm not a teacher, obviously, but I'm a tutor. I'm a well-trained tutor, and I'm sensitive to people, so I don't want my expectations thrown on the person coming in the door. I want them to learn what they want to learn, and not my expectations, and that's the more. So it's very individual that way. I mean, if you look around the room, you look at all the work that's being done in here, it's all completely different. We're not standardizing any kind of format here in any way, so it's very individual for the person that comes in.
I've been feeling pretty good about it. I like the program. It helped me out. It will help other people out. I know that much. So, but it helped me out, and I had grade 1. That should help somebody else out. A matter of 2 years going up to grade 8. That's pretty good.
You give people back control of their lives, and you empower people. Literacy is the power, because you literally open eyes. You open doors that we never would have gone through in the beginning, because we don't think we can. We really believe that. When you have literacy skills now, you have choices.
The rewards of tutoring can be as simple as the satisfaction of making a new and valuable friend.
What a lot of SCIL is about is a person working with a person, or working in small groups, but peer tutoring is a profound thing where both people learn from each other.
We all go through the same struggles, that we're all trying to learn something. We're all picking up new things all around us every day, and if we spend a couple of hours with each other, we both benefit.
I feel like it's like a friendship. You meet, you become friends, and that's nice. And as I say, my family, we've become closer. I feel more confident in myself, where before I didn't think I was anything. Yeah, I'm actually very proud of myself, and I'm not scared to say it. A while ago, I wouldn't have said that.
If you ever did anything worthwhile in your life, if there was anything that you really wanted to feel really good about yourself for what you do, it's helping somebody else, number one. When you teach somebody how to read and write, when you work with somebody in a partnership of reading and writing, you will never be richer in your life. You're a very poor person when you can't read and write. You're poor. You make us rich by sitting there with us and giving us something that we never had before.
Yeah, it's probably one of the nicest things you can do in terms of, as far as volunteering goes. Not only are you free of sort of the bottom line, but you're also free of any constraints. There's no one telling you what you actually have to do. So it's a great opportunity for I guess just learning, and yeah, all kinds of learning.
With a little bit of training and a lot of love and energy, SCIL works.